welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well out there. And today we're going to head back to May of this year to discuss a low-budget thriller that was released theatrically on a limited basis and just hit Blu-ray a couple weeks ago. But before we get into it, do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Join me here. I greatly would appreciate that. Also, as always, a shameless plug for my Zazzle MIT public page. I'll leave a link in the description box below. And today, we're heading to Yuma County for the movie The Last Stop in Yuma County. This movie just dropped in the theaters. It was in the theater by me. I just didn't have time to check it out. I wanted to see it. It looked very interesting. Back in May 10th, it came out. It's rated R. It's an hour and 30 minutes long. Now, we have a first-time writer and director here. Francis, I might butcher his last name, so I apologize up front. Galepi, I think that's how you say it. If not, I apologize. I did not mean to butcher it. This is his first time out, and there's a little documentary making of on this, and his friend produced the film, and he sold his house to help bankroll this movie, which I thought was very passionate, and, you know, they really went for it here. Now, cast-wise, we got a pretty good little cast here. Starting off, we're going to set name Jim Cummings is in this film, and he plays the knife salesman. Now, Jim Cummings is a director in his own right. He directed a cool little werewolf movie back in 2020 called The Wolf of Snow Hollow. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. It's a pretty badass werewolf movie. He was in Halloween Kills as an actor. He played in The Flashback. He played Hawkins' partner in the Myers house that gets shot in the neck by Hawkins. That's Jim Cummings. He's also directed other films as well. You follow him on Twitter if you're on Twitter. He always definitely champions independent, small, low-budget cinema, and he seems like a really nice dude. Faison Love's in this film, and I haven't seen him in a while, but he plays Vernon. He plays the gas station owner and the hotel owner. They're in the middle of nowhere here, and he runs those. I almost didn't recognize him at first. I thought it looked like him because he has this big beard, and until he started talking, I'm like, oh, I know who that is, because he's been in a lot of Vince Vaughn movies. He was in The Replacements with Keanu Reeves. He was in Elf as the store manager. He was in Couples Retreat. He was in Made with Vince Vaughn. He's been in a ton of other stuff as well, and I've always enjoyed him when he pops up on screen. Jocelyn Donahue's in this film as Charlotte. She is the owner and operator of the diner that's literally connected to the gas station. And she's been in House with the Devil, Ty West movie, which I'm going to review this coming on Halloween. She was in Dr. Sleep. She played the Wendy character, the young version of Wendy in that movie, and she's fantastic here as well. Richard Brakes in this film is Bo. He is one of our bank robbers. We'll talk about him in a second. And Barbara Crampton's in this film as Virginia. She's in the movie for a little bit. She doesn't have a huge part, but it's always nice to see her pop up. She's horror royalty. And this film is basically a crime thriller. I'd almost say in the vein of Tarantino-esque almost, a little bit. But it's very well done. So let's get into it. We have the knife salesman needs gas. He pulls into this gas station in the middle of the desert, and Vernon, Faison Love, tells him that the tanks are empty, the truck is on its way to refill the tanks, and he'll be able to gas up. But he's going to probably be there for a little bit. He goes, you can always get something to eat next door. As they have this conversation, he pulls around a corner and parks in front of the diner. This is when Charlotte gets dropped off by her husband, who's also the sheriff of this little community, and she opens the diner. He goes in to get a cup of coffee. Then Richard Brakes' character pulls in with his partner looking for gas. No gas, so they come into the diner. And this is when things get interesting. The car they're driving, the knife salesman heard on the radio about the bank robbery and what car they were driving, was just pulled into the lot. So he knows there's something afoot with them. And Charlotte knows too, and she's trying to call her husband to give him a heads up. And before she can talk to her husband, Richard Brake and her partner spring into action and hold them hostage until the gas truck comes, which the director already shows the gas truck had wrecked off this embankment. So the gas truck's not coming. And before we know it, more characters are involved, and it explodes in an act of violence at the end. And then we get a twist. The knife salesman, who's been this kind of meek kind of guy, kind of nervous kind of guy, shy, decides to try to... Everybody's dead at this point. Everybody gets shot except for him. He's the last one alive. Well, this couple comes in, who he kills. She's holding a gun to him. He kills with a knife. So he decides he's going to take the money and take off. This is his opportunity to maybe get a step up in the world, and nobody will even know because everybody's dead. he didn't, besides killing this one woman in self-defense, he's done nothing wrong. This couple pulls in, and they think he killed everybody because he reveals himself, and he ends up killing them, and he takes off down the road. He gets gas to put in his car that he siphons out of another car, takes off down the road, and through dumb luck, when he shot the gun he had, it made a hole in his gas line, and his car ran out of gas. And by this point, Charlotte's husband's in pursuit, and he blows him up. He gets shot. Everybody's dead. That's the end of the movie. And that's the last stop in Yuma County. What to like about this film? Well, I think for a first-time director, Francis Gillespie, if that's his name, I'm sorry, I apologize if it's not right, does a really excellent job with the directing. It's well handled. There's a lot of characters here eventually as our group grows, and he does a nice job keeping track of everybody. Nobody gets lost. You kind of know where everybody is throughout the film as different things happen. Richard Brake is great here. The whole cast is great here. Jim Cummings is great. I mean, even for his turn at the end, I bought it where this guy's thinking to himself, this is my chance to actually not have to sell freaking knives for a living anymore. This is his way out. Everybody's dead. He thinks he can just make a clean getaway. He didn't do nothing wrong, technically, but then he does stuff wrong to get to what happens at the end, where he's lying in a ditch dying from a gunshot wound, and that's when the movie ends. Everybody's great here across the board. The acting's fantastic. The script is pretty tight, and it's entertaining. There's some funny moments, but it's also played straight and serious as well. And there's some really cool dialogue between the characters. This is a really well handled, and an explosion was done for real. It looked like the bullet hits were done with squibs. It looked like it to me. So props off to the director for that, to keeping things real. This is definitely, you couldn't tell that this was a low budget, other than we're in one location for 90% of the movie. And so hats off to them for making this look bigger than what they actually had. It really looks like they had some money behind this. And it comes off really well. It's a really solid thriller with some entertaining performances, some great dialogue. It's well handled, and you could do a lot worse. I would highly recommend checking this out. I bought this Blu-ray off eBay for like $12. It's available on Amazon. It's a really well done thriller. At the end of the day, I would highly recommend this. I would give The Last Stop in Yuma County an 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10 for The Last Stop in Yuma County. Have you ever even heard of this film? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Have you seen it? If you have seen it, what are your thoughts on it? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Till next time, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share this video. I greatly would appreciate that. I'll be back soon with some more reviews, but until next time, bye.